welcome back. Gyulzing is in the bathroom, so we're ready to go on Proxima. Just waiting for his go-ahead. We have Forte versus Alive in the top side of the... Damn it. I clicked a bookmark. The top side of the bracket. That's weird. And then Leanock versus Classic on the bottom side.
Also, Monty, I don't know if you're still watching, dude. I know it looks shitty. I was hoping it would turn out better. I'll give you a special shout out here at the bottom, since we're giving some sub love.
Wow. I think I also had a sub. No, that's not it. No, I didn't. Just kidding.
Our flipper friend is our last most recent one.
Yeah, I think BaseTradeTV bot said there was a new one, but it lied. Yeah.
What a jerk.
I'm looking at it right now.
Stupid
It's just
bot.
lied. It's not even. What even did it do? Anyways, so we're missing our Protosses, kind of. Gyulzing is Protoss, but we don't know much about him. Billy lost in a PvP. Very interesting, then.
That actually is very interesting. Side note, a couple people said they bought shirts after we talked about it before, and that's awesome. I'll tell you what, guys, if we can fill this board up today with subs and resubs and whatever, we'll give away a shirt today. So if you've got your resub button pending and you're ready to hit it, just hit it, guys. Just hit it.
You started showing off the board as I was like changing scenes.
It's okay. It doesn't really matter. It's
But you're doing such good hand modeling. You're like that person on
doing
Jeopardy, but without a face. Like the main reason she's there. Anyways, in the top right, as the blue Terran, he is INnoVation.
And it's at the bottom left. It's a bunch of goobity guck. I think it's Korean though for the red Protoss gyulzing.
Yes.
Unless it's Chinese, in which case then I was wrong.
It's so different looking.
I don't know.
Well, I could have sworn, honestly, before I looked at the bracket, I hear Gyulzing and I thought Zerg. Maybe I'm mixing them up with some other commonly
No, I am with
seen-
you. I'm with you on this. This is
Okay,
one of those things where
good.
like my brain defaulted to Zerg but saw Protoss and was like, oh, well that's a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, it's not even just that, like, that's what I expect from, like, the up-and-comers, is, like, not a Protoss, to be honest. Especially in Korea, I feel like it's either Terran or Zerg. But it's just that I thought seeing Gyulzing on other brackets that he was Zerg too, but now I'm just realizing, like, I didn't even really pay attention. Maybe his name just sounds Zergy to me. But he has appeared in other tournaments. It's just that he usually never gets far enough for us to cast him. And defeating Billowy, whether he was Zerg or Terran, you know, is a little bit surprised, but especially because he's a Protoss is an even bigger surprise. Is Billowy, I mean, he's been a little inconsistent, but usually his strength is in that PvP. And he took him down 2-1, so it wasn't like a stomp or, you know, too shocking, but it is still weird for him to be seen here facing INnoVation. And that means, I don't really know if INnoVation knows this guy or not. When it comes, I feel, to these pro gamers like INnoVation and stats and, God, like the best of the best of the best, I feel like their ladder sometimes doesn't even include these guys. Even though Gyulzing's GM on Korea, I feel like maybe he doesn't even face INnoVation's MMR. So I don't know. And we don't know how he plays either. We never get around to casting him. Could be cheesy, could be normal. So far normal. Although very cautious. He did scout a lot for Proxy Reaper and Proxy Factory.
Well, I was going to also say, regardless whether you're coming up against INnoVation, Gumiho, random scrub Terran on the ladder, I think the go-to build for Protoss right now really is Phoenix Adept. I wouldn't be surprised if this is what we saw out of Gyulzing.
Ooh. Yeah. A lot of Protosses are transitioning away from, well, not just Phoenix Adept, but even just like only Adept. Like they're going into mass gateways without really including the Phoenixes. And in this case, as you can see, I mean, he's not even going for a Stargate, so definitely not Phoenixes. This could just be a Resonant Glaives and a Blink into that strong ground army. Might be something more all in. Time will tell. INnoVation is going to have a follow-up scout, though, as he is going for a Widowmine drop. He was absolutely, not too much of a spoiler, but just in case, like, he was doing very well with the Widowmine drop, specifically in SSL yesterday. Like, they were pretty cool. They made me want a Widowmine drop, because he proxied a factory, but...
I only stayed up to watch Maru versus Buell. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was pretty
What's
good,
happened to you, Maru? What, you used to be such a good... Oh, what the fuck?
too. Well, now we're going to real spoiler territory. I really feel like SSL is not getting the attention it deserves. Like yesterday's groups, the matches.
Freaking YouTube.
Okay, YouTube is better than Africa, but yes, you're right. It is on YouTube, but also, I don't think it has the prestige. And no offense to the casters, but the casters are also not prestigious. You know, obviously as much as Tasteless and Artosis. So
You know, it might just be that everything production, stage, and even wardrobe just looks like a giant green screen.
It does look kind of funky. I mean, there's a lot of reasons. I think I say, like, I don't know why, but I do know why. But it's still, like, it's sad either way. Because, like, yesterday would have been considered, like, the best day ever. Yeah, like, the players that were involved yesterday were super good, but just it didn't seem to be that well. Plus, it's just, seriously, an oversaturation of Korean tournaments.
I was going to say, this Widowmine managed to sneak over to the side. I can't believe pulls off 4 kills. Another overcharge hits the medevac, but it's still going. Now, there is an observer, and this Widowmine on the ledge might just catch a stalker or something, but it's not going to get much more than that, I don't think. But the thing is, gyulzing, I don't think he knows about that Widowmine on the far right side.
Yeah, it cleans this one up, but you might be right about this one. It's unlikely to get much. I think it's going to move eventually, too. I don't even think it get a
what? Actually, I think it'd be great if you see the stalkers come in over here. He's not going to get out of the medevac. But anyways, if he sees the stalkers walk down here, that's when you pick up that Widowmine and walk over to the main. But it's not going to be the case. Mothership Core will clean this up. And the units are actually walking across the map to INnoVation's base as we speak.
Oh, but I think it's pretty delayed. He is on 5, almost 7 gateways. But having to deal with that first and foremost, I think it's the latest push. And it's Proxima. So you're going to have to deal with a front wall off no matter what. And I don't... There's the Warp Prism. I was like, where is it? There's a Warp Prism. He's not going for a sneaky attack. At most, he's going to be able to just try and Elevator, which obviously INnoVation will be able to see and hopefully focus fire down for him. He's got Liberator, so that can't really focus fire the Warp Prism. But the Marines might be able to. I don't know if it's going to work. It's a very odd attack, I must say. Like, an all-in off of 2 bases is not too bad to see, but just, like, the delay and having some stalkers in it, like, it looks kind of weird. And from being at the front, too. Usually Adept all-in includes warp-ins at a very surprising location, like over here or over here. Just trying to bust on the front wall seems quite bold.
Well, there's no wall to really bust down, so...
Well, he replaces it pretty quickly. Gyulzing, I think, realizes this attack isn't going to work. He started producing probes. He has another gas on the way, but this is really not a friendly game for the Protoss right now. That third base is pretty damn late. And while INnoVation doesn't have a third base, that's, you know, that's kind of normal anyways. Really consider a very, very usual PvT, and that third base comes down before 5 minutes, and then Terran's a little bit after. And INnoVation's the one that's going to have a stronger army when Stim and Combat Shields finish up.
Yeah, of course, I love seeing tank play in general, but I'm really excited about INnoVations because he just always has like the best positioning with the tanks. I can't describe it better than that. And I know it's like a fanboy statement to make, but like really, you'll notice in a lot of his games, they're rarely on the front lines, barely out of position, sieging up as the attack begins. Like, he's usually good to go with them.
I really hope this Widowmine does something important one day.
Me too. I really want that to walk over to the main, like the long con. You know what I mean?
Thank you to Roycycle.
I still think it's Roycycle every time I read it, like a bicycle. You know, like.
Yeah. Well, a 15-month resub. But first, on Earth, as Rifkin sent thy corse shell from its tomb to be rent, then ghastly haunts thy Tyrian place and suck the blood of all thy race.
Hark, the raven cried, nevermore.
Tyrian? Tyrian? I've never... Tyria, I guess. Tyrian? Anyways, I don't usually have to recite rhyme on StarCraft cast, so I wasn't prepared. It's a large Protoss army. And what's funny is that it is such a surprising location for the main army of Protoss to be after a failed, quote-unquote, all-in. Like, it didn't really happen, so it's hard to call it a failed all-in. That, yeah, INnoVation was appropriately surprised. His tanks ended up sieging, but the Adepts got on top of the army. It doesn't seem to matter, though.
Tanks are dank, to say the least.
Yeah, GG.
INnoVation. Win-ovation.
Quite good. Oh,
I gotta go get Mr. Bicycle on the board now. Roycyle. Yeah, I hope if there's any subs out there who ever like get mad at us for saying your name wrong, I hope nobody actually does. At this point, we're just we're trying our best, guys.
Yeah. Guess who has to go to the vet today? You do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Mom. Fuck, you know what? I remember hearing about this on YouTube and making fun of people where they'll like draw a bicycle and nobody could, and I'm now realizing I don't really know what a bike looks like.
Yep. Isn't it crazy how our minds work like that?
I think this is. I think I'm pretty close with this, because it's where you put like the water bottle thing.
You made like a. I mean, I can't really see it. It's quite small, but I feel like it's missing the middle. Oh no.
I think it's kind of close to a bike, right? I don't know. The wheels look like basketballs. Fuck.
They do. You're right. Well, that's pretty good.
That's the best it's gonna get. That's. This is why I need the bell. Like. Bling, bling.
Okay. Well, here's another thing to draw. Thank you to Judge Dreaded for the Twitch Prime sub. Can you draw Judge Dredd? Draw.
Ah,
Judge
the helmet.
Dredd.
The helmet looks cool, but I don't actually know what it how to draw it. It feels bad, man.
It's kind of like a Spartan helmet, isn't it? But without the fluff.
Ish, I guess.
When I think of a Spartan helmet, I don't think about the fluff on top. I think about like the square face that they allow open.
Oh yeah, the cool little eye slits.
Yeah. Oh, I don't remember either. Man, that new Judge Dredd movie was really cool. It's too bad no one thought it would be. Like, I feel that's what failed at the box office. Because everyone's like, oh, remake. We already had RoboCop and it was terrible, so no one went to see it. But it was super weird and super cool. RoboCop was a terrible remake. That movie was so boring. Oh, God. Anyway. Wrong guy. In the bottom right, as the red Protoss, he is gyulzing.
And of course, his opponent doesn't really need an introduction, but it is INnoVation. Also, my camera's not sticking to yours. Why not?
Because the observer interface is dying. You know what's really gonna kill StarCraft? They're eventually just gonna get tired of fixing all the bugs and just let it die. Just gonna be like, no one can observe. The players can't do anything in game. We let it go, guys. We let StarCraft go. It's a fat piece of like jobbled pro gaming mess.
It hit its 40s. It just let itself go.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna have a midlife crisis. It comes back in 20 years and has like dyed hair and a Ferrari.
Some go-go boots.
Calling it now. I mean, isn't that just like StarCraft Remastered? It's redyed its hair. It's worked out a little bit.
It's just trying to, but it's basically the same. It hasn't changed. Oh my God, you're so right. Thank you, Monty, for the bits, by the way. Really appreciate it, man. Right, let's play Around the Rosie in the main with this probe. There's not really a lot to be said. Nobody did anything weird. No proxies.
Oh gosh. SCV getting that scout off as a Reaper is not being produced. It was a command center first after all. We do have some larger maps in the map pool, but they're still not like super big. Dust Towers, you know, probably the biggest one we've had in the last few years. What was on before that? Alterzim Stronghold. Was that what it was called? Something like that.
Alterzim was a pretty big map, yeah. But
I think that was the biggest map. I think it was the biggest map we've ever had. In ladder, anyways, or professional play.
There was definitely one bigger than Alterzim, but I don't remember which.
Do you remember what it looked like?
No, but I just remember comparing it to Alterzim at some point.
You know what? Now that you mention it, it sounds a bit familiar. Like there was a super long game, and you were like counting the bases, and you're like, "This is more bases than like something like that." That sounds like that happened, but you know, it could have been a dream.
Sounds plausible, like MythBusters.
Yeah. Yeah, now I'm really curious. Maybe chat will know. Probe looks like it was going to do something, but nope, just kidding. These are in little suspicious little places, aren't they? Suspicious little places.
Suspicious.
But it's not a Robo in a Twilight console. It's a Forge in a Twilight. So, why?
You know, actually, suspicious aside for a moment, it is kind of neat though because it's not gonna get scouted very easily, unless the medevac comes in from the left side. But I think on a map like this, INnoVation wants to come in from the north side, right? If you can go for Widowmine drops, drop one off in the natural, boost on over to the main.
Well, yeah. I mean, he could still go for a Widowmine drop, but he's going to be waiting a long time for that medevac. Thank you to Randos1 for the 2-month resub.
Oh, dude, I got a 5 out of 7 on that bike, by the way. I'm pretty proud right now.
You also got a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, I chose not to read that one. I'm in my safe space right now, okay?
Ah, yes, of course. Wow.
Also, why is my camera like unfocused? WTF. There we go. Not that you guys can see it anyways, doesn't matter.
Yeah. I'm still wondering about the suspicious placement. Like, it really looks like you're supposed to hide a bunch of gateways here. And he might just hide a bunch of gateways here as well, but this would not be too suspicious to see if you, like, a Reaper came in and... but the fact that they're both chronodes, the third base still has no intention of being put down, as it's getting around that time. If this was a, you know, fast third base power up on the Adept, so, like, it might still be that if this was scouted, very suspicious for INnoVation. But as I was talking about, he doesn't have a Reaper, he can't really scout. All I can see is the timing on the third base, which he checked about around 4 minutes, but that's not the only time he can place on a third base and still be reasonable. So I'll probably want to get another one. Marine just, you know, boldly goes where no Terran has gone before. And it dies for it. It dies.
I guess technically on this map it would be true.
Yeah, in this map, on this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job. I'm proud of
you.
your science.
So he really has no idea about what's happening, and there are extra gateways being produced here as well. So, cool fashion 2-base attack, making the last round of probes, I suppose. This looks like a fake third gas. Okay, there we go. It's still gonna be a dedication, and it looks like INnoVation just by the third timing is already suspicious. You know, third timing, and I think also the lack of a fourth, maybe. He knows he's building bunkers is the point. Pro gamers, am I right? They just know things.
I mean, he's well. Let's say there's knowing things and there's knowing how to deal with things, and I think back to like Marine King, right? Like he'd probably see the same stuff coming, with the difference of B, no bunkers.
I got this with 5 Marines.
Yeah. No, I really like this defense. This is really not. Oh. This is not going to be something easily pierced.
Did we miss
I guess
course
best way to phrase it.
88 for the 8-month reset? Well, I miss it. Yeah, he scans the natural again and still sees not like a full saturation. So, yeah, no need to salvage these bunkers. I mean, it is an adept attack, and most of the time it is, right? Like Perdos's, but those aren't usually just like bust the front. But in both games, gyulzing has gone for that approach to it. I mean, there's not a Widowmine here. There's just missile turrets. Like he probably could have warped in the main base, but he's gonna try and go for the front, and that's gonna be difficult.
Yeah, not even much effort required, to be honest.
Yeah. And INnoVation, mind you, has been working off of a fast command center, like with 3 barracks. So while his medevacs were a little bit late, he has so much bio, and it still hit as medevacs come out. So the only real timing that gyulzing had was that it was hitting before combat shields. But with the the bunkers make up kind of for the combat shields, anyways, and like this is gonna work.
I mean, the Adepts transfer through, but look at INnoVation's reaction. He immediately pulls all the Marines out of the bunker, not wasting even a single unit's worth of DPS. This is such a beautifully disgusting hold to watch happen.
Yeah. GG! Whoopsie.
All right, time to get back to the art stream, I suppose. So we had Chorus 88. That one's easy. I'm just going to be lazy. Just going to get like little musical notes.
Okay. That is pretty easy. While you do that, thank you to Istarun for the 32-month resub.
What would Randos be? Randos just gets a heart. Fuck it. What's up, Randos?
Sounds like a Pokemon. 31 months, though I think it's the last I'll be able to sub for a while. Well, it says 32 months, so I don't know who to believe.
Oh, no!
It's been a wild and crazy journey watching you guys grow over the past almost 4 years. Till I started watching. Okay. Can I still get a Partouf coin? It's always been on my to-do list.
Dude, you could have gotten a Partouf coin like a year and a bit ago, man.
Yeah, like almost 2 years ago. Did you apply for one? Not application. Did you ask for one, or did it get lost in the mail?
Just either way, send us a message here on Twitch, dude.
Yeah.
We're gonna give Istaroon, because he's been around for so long, but he has to stop subbing, a giant F next to his name, so F to pay respects, guys.
Oh, I thought you were being mean.
Nah.
You failed.
This is a sign of respect right here. Of course, Istaroon, dude, I do hope that means you're not going to stop watching the channel. I know a lot of people... This is something I don't get, but this happens not just to our channel. This is like a Twitch-wide problem where people who were subbed, they stop subbing. They feel like ashamed to come back to the channel or something like that. And I hope none of you guys ever feel that way. Those of you who are like generous enough to support us, whether it's through subbing, bits, donations, like... Just because you ever stop doesn't mean we value you any less. And I hope you guys know that, because I sincerely mean it. We put on this show because we want to have a lot of people enjoy StarCraft with us. Fuck, we wouldn't do this if that was any other case. It took, out of the 4 years or whatever we've been doing this, it took 3 before it ever became sustainable. Right? So money's not the thing. So thank you for your 32 months of service.
Thank you.
You know what? You get a face cam. Not many people get this nowadays. I salute you, man.
Oh, salute? That's
okay.
A little more manly. There you go.
A little bit of both.
Thank you to Lazy Burrow for the new sub and Vensa for the 2-month resub. And we're going to go to a commercial break before the semifinals begins. INnoVation vs. Alive coming up.